Well, when it comes to our organs, we often think about the big ones, such as the heart, the brain, maybe even the kidney. But there is a smaller organ that pretty much goes unnoticed. It's the pancreas. WDSU medical editor Dr. Corey Abear says, although small, it is as vital as your heart.
There are a lot of medical problems that end in itis. Itis just means inflammation. But there are some ailments that end in itis that aren't very serious, like otitis, conjunctivitis. But there is one that is very serious and that can be deadly, which is what we're going to talk about today, and that's pancreatitis. The pancreas is a very small organ that sits behind the stomach, close to the small intestine. It's where the blood sugar regulating hormone insulin is produced, and it's an important part of your digestive system. The pancreas releases enzymes that are secreted into the small intestine to help digest your food. But when it isn't working properly, those enzymes can become active while still in the pancreas, causing inflammation and pain. This is called acute pancreatitis. More than 70% of all cases in the United States are related to alcoholism. Other causes include cystic fibrosis, viral infections such as mumps and pneumonia, also abdominal surgery and gallstones. Some people may have a genetic predisposition to developing this condition. Symptoms of acute pancreatitis include abdominal pain, particularly after eating, and it may radiate to your back. It can also cause nausea, vomiting, and a fever. If the pain becomes too severe, you need to go to the emergency room. Repeated bouts of pancreatitis can damage the pancreas and cause scar tissue to disrupt organ function. Chronic pancreatitis can trigger sudden weight loss, digestion and breathing problems, and diabetes. Further complications can range from infection and malnutrition to kidney failure and pancreatic cancer, which is why it's so important to get your symptoms checked by a medical professional early on. A doctor can diagnose pancreatitis by measuring the levels of digestive enzymes, amylase and lipase in the blood. If those levels are high, chances are it's pancreatitis. Additional tests may be done, including an ultrasound or a CT scan. To help lower your risk for pancreatitis, however, or to help recover from a recent attack, doctors recommend giving up alcohol. I know that's tough. Also, stop smoking, adopting a healthy, low-fat diet, and drinking lots of water. Look, I've seen patients go from having no pain to being in an ICU and dying within a matter of hours of pancreatitis. So if you think you may have this serious disorder, you need to see your doctor today. I'm medical editor Dr. Corey Abear with your Weekend House Call.
All right, well, the Honorary Center at SUNO is having an open house next week. Here to tell us more about it and to invite you to attend is Mr. Warren Bell. Well, good morning. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here. Always good to be back here at WDSU.
Also, yeah, let me tell you, this is great. So you're offering some scholarship opportunities for some graduates for, the high school students coming up this spring. Why are you doing this, and why is this so important?
Well, we were created 4 years ago to address a specific need in the nation, really. That's the lack of enough numbers of young black males finishing high school and going on to college, then completing college. But also our program was created for a very special purpose. We're trying to identify young men whom we can invest in to get their college degree, but in exchange, they have to agree to the premise of becoming classroom teachers. Because in our United States of America right now, statistics say that only 2% of all the educators and classroom teachers in our nation are African-American males. With so many students in our own school district, for example, who are African-American males and never even see a teacher who looks like them, that's a critical issue. So what we're doing is, again this year, recruiting young men, African-American males from local high schools in southeast Louisiana who are interested in coming to SUNO at our expense. Whatever their Pell Grant doesn't cover, we provide the rest of support for up to 5 years so they can get their bachelor's degree, and then they agree in exchange for that investment in them to start a great career as a classroom teacher right here in New Orleans. After 2 years, if they choose not to, they don't have to anymore. But it really is important that we put more young men in the classroom who understand that because they come from some of the same communities as the kids in those classrooms, they can be more effective, they can be more positive role models. And that's what the Honorary Center is all about.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the eligibility and the requirements to be a part of this program.
A young man should be from South Louisiana, finishing high school this year, coming from the Region's core curriculum, and the high school counselors can help him with that. But also he should have at least the ACT scores that are required for entry into a four-year university. We then will provide him with all of his housing, his textbooks, computer, his meal plans for up to 5 years, as long as he maintains a fairly reasonable GPA of 2.5 We strive for better, of course, but the important piece is they must take sufficient education courses or major in education so that when they finish, they can immediately enter the classrooms and immediately begin to make a difference with our schools.
What's the success rate then for your program?
We have about 60% of our young men still enrolled at SUNO. Some of them chose after 2 years to leave the program and do things on their own. Men still must be men sometimes. But the young men who are in our program enjoy those benefits for their entire undergraduate career. We do more events probably than any other organization at any campus in town, regular speakers bureau, and of course we have a namesake who doesn't just give us his name, he gives us his time and his energy and his passion, and that's the one and only General Russell Honore, who is our namesake, but also very active in raising money for us, spreading the message about our program to his audiences around the country.
Well, let's talk about his message. He will be at the open house.
He will be there Wednesday to talk to the young men who are considering this program and parents. If your young man doesn't realize yet he'd make a great classroom teacher, perhaps mom can encourage her son to come along with her to see General Honore. Talk about the need for leadership in our community. So many folks focus when they think about careers on how much money will I make. But they're not thinking about the long-term satisfaction of making sure you do something you can be passionate about. And I don't know any area where we need more young men right now than in the area of classroom teaching.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds like an amazing program. So
Open house is Wednesday at 6 p.m. at the SUNO campus.
All right, there you go. So moms and dads, if you're interested and you think that your young male, African-American male, needs some direction or possibly loves to be a role model and mentoring, this could be the perfect program. High school seniors, of course, consider heading on out there. 504-286-5107 to give them a call. Thanks so much for sharing with us.
Thank you so much, and you can follow us on Facebook.
Absolutely. And us too. In fact, remember, stay informed anytime, anywhere, 24/7. Follow us at WDSU.com, Twitter, and yes, on Facebook.